Hey guys, it's Alice, and on today's video, I'm going to talk all things 2026 marketing strategies that I am using for my brand, and you can also use for yours. Now, this is really going to help you not only launch your brand, whether it's a completely new brand or whether you are doing a new collection or a new product, but it's also really going to help you to grow and attract a new audience in 2026. Now, starting with number one, it is creating a campaign. This is all about creating a visually aesthetic photo shoot for your brand. Now, your campaign should really represent your brand world. It really needs to embody the vibe, the attitude of your brand, and the way in which to really find a good theme for your campaign. Number one, if you have a brand, you should really have brand values. This is the values that make up your brand. So, for example, one of our brand values is friendship. And when you go on our Instagram page, we tend to have a lot of content where we show two models who are friends. We really lean into that brand value. So, when you are doing your campaign, you really want to make sure that it embodies that. Why is this important? Because this is what you are going to be known for. This is what is going to attract people to your brand and help them to understand what you are about. But really, where the market is going, people really want high quality visuals, and it's really a quick way for people to trust your brand. When you have really beautiful imagery, when you have like a really great photo shoot, professional models, a really good photographer, a nice location, this is really a quick way to set the tone and share with the world who you are as a brand, what you're about, what's your aesthetic, what's your lifestyle, what's the attitude and vibe of your brand. And it really helps people to trust you. It helps people to also assume that your product is of good quality, which in the long run will mean you can actually start to charge a more premium price point. Now, this can be quite expensive. If you have a certain budget and you're just like, should I do a campaign? Should I not? This is getting very, very costly. I would say listen further because there's definitely some other things you can. However, if your budget stretches enough, I would 100% say do a fashion campaign. Okay, so your kind of top tier content is your campaigns. It's telling the story, it's telling the mood, the vibe of your collection, of your drop. And you will most likely work with professional models. Now, the second layer is shooting with influencers, shooting with content creators. Now, it really is important for you as a brand to control the visuals that represent your brand. And so, this second layer is about aligning with influencers, content creators that also embody your brand values. This means that when you go on a certain influencer's page, would she wear your clothes? Is she already living the lifestyle that your brand has? So, for example, my brand is all about friendships. My brand, the lifestyle is very much getting dressed up, going out with your girls, going out with your man, and really just dressing up and really making a statement with your clothes. And so the influencers that I'm going to go for, they need to be aligned to that lifestyle. And once you've selected the influencers, the content creators that, fit your vibe, you really want to start to create content with them. What does this look like? It means going in context to a bar or going to a restaurant or taking photos on the street. All you need to do is go onto TikTok and look at the content that influencers within your niche are creating. And then you really want to emulate the content that is doing well, the content that is going viral and getting lots of engagement. This is how women's wear fashion is sold. People need to see themselves in these influencers. They need to see people that they can relate to, which is why it's so important to really start to get different girls within your clothes, different influencers, content creators within your clothes. Now, in my brand, we like to control this to a certain degree, just because if you gift an influencer, which is actually going to be my next way of marketing, you can't always control what the imagery is like. But if you hire an influencer to be your model, you then have control over the different poses and the overall vibe that you want to portray. And so this is really important that you kind of have that editorial style imagery, which is going to come from your campaign. But do not miss the next layer, which is shooting with influencers, people that already know how to move on the camera. This is about relatability and really further showing your brand values through these influencers. This is not a step to be missed. And this is the layer where you really want to show just how wearable your items are, how you would style them, for example, because the editorial, you might kind of lean more into imagery that almost feels like a fantasy and it's not always so wearable. This layer is all about showing the styling, showing the real places that these items belong. So if you are designing dresses that are for, your girl dinners, this is where you would take imagery where you are at a girl dinner, this influencer is dressed up and you're really showing the vibe and the dress in context and how it's styled. This is going to allow the viewer, the customer, to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see myself wearing that. The third part that we are doing in our marketing strategy is gifting influencers slash paying them. Now, this is really just to further expand and show your brand on as many different girls, as many different bodies as possible. You really want to have a nice mix of girls that just really show the diversity of your brand and really shows your clothes on different body types, whether it's petite girls, tall girls, plus size girls, mid size girls. This is really an important part because the more you can show your items on different people, this is really going to help the customer to see, oh, okay, this girl's got my body type. This girl looks a bit like me. Therefore, I think that this will suit me. It's all these different layers that is going to help you to market your brand. And you really want to put this on your social media pages, on your TikToks, on your Instagram, to really show the nice mix of women that are wearing your brand. Now, this is especially important in the beginning because as you begin to get sales, your customers will tag you. And I always tell my students, make sure that you've got some kind of pamphlet within your mailing bag to encourage your customers to tag you. But in the early days, it's so important to try and get different influencers, content creators in your brand. Now, before I would say just gift people, but really where we're at today in the market, it really is a mixture of paying influencers as well as gifting them. The thing about gifting them is you cannot control when they're going to post and if they're going to post. So we really like to do a mixture of gifting and paying the influencer just to make sure that we are going to be getting a good cadence of content every single month of different people within the brand. Now, I'm so excited to announce that on the 25th of January, we are having a live masterclass. We are going to further be expanding everything that you need to know to successfully launch and market your brand in 2026. Guys, it's going to be absolutely action packed, going through a lot of the points that we're talking about today in a lot further detail. But it's really going to be your chance to really learn from myself and my co-founder all the marketing strategies that you need to be using to launch and grow your brand. You're also going to have the opportunity to ask any questions because we will be having a Q&A. So if you want a bit more support with your marketing, you like the idea of being able to speak through what you are trying to do with your brand in a group coaching setting, then absolutely check out the link in the description. And I'm so excited to see you there on the 25th of January. Okay, so getting right back to it, the next layer of marketing that we are using in 2026 is all things founder content. Now, this is just to emphasize in this point, everything I've been mentioning is going to find itself on your Instagram feed and and on your TikTok. In the early days, this is exactly what you are going to be doing to drive traffic to your website and ultimately get the sales. Now, you really don't want to skip founder content. This is really where you get to build community and you get to share all the behind the scenes of what you are doing in your brand. And I would say, do not make it complex for yourself. All you need to do is just show the daily or weekly activities of things that you are getting up to in your business. Really treat it like a series where you are building your brand. I want you to show the behind the scenes. I want you to educate the viewer, educate people as to the inspiration that went behind this particular piece of clothing or this particular drop. Tell us the fabrics that it's made from. Tell us where you manufactured it. Anything that just shows you educating the viewer as to how you made your collection and the inspiration. This is really a great way to build trust with the viewer. This is a really great way to build community and show people just how much effort and work has gone into this collection. This is your chance to show your process of how you design something. When people see just how much effort has gone into building this brand, to building this collection, they believe in it and they trust it, and it makes them want to buy into it because you've just put so much effort into this particular design. So do not miss this step. It's so important in 2026 to show up as a founder and share what you are doing in your brand. Now, the next layer of marketing is all things email. Email, email, email. It's so important that as you're doing all these marketing activities, you make sure that you have a really good pop up on your website. This is so that you can start to engage with your customers on email. You can send them emails about new drops, new launches. You can send them emails about new promotions that you have going on. You can send emails about the BTS and everything that's going on behind the scenes in your brand. This is such an important aspect of the marketing because it's you directly speaking to people that have willingly given you their email, whether it's that they've bought from you in the past or they've actually given you their email because they want to be part of your brand. So make sure to have a pop up on your website, giving them some kind of incentive, whether it's a discount off, whether it's a certain monetary value off, but you really want to make sure that you are collecting emails and sending emails regularly. We're sending emails about 2 to 3 times a week, which I think is a good number. Any more than that can be a bit too much, but make sure to look at brands that you are currently subscribed to and start to save emails that had you engaged. I love to do this, to look at other brand emails. And this is really going to start to give you a really strong idea as to what you can send your customers. And then finally, the last layer of marketing is ads, ads, ads. Now, we only just started doing ads last year. Prior to that, the first kind of 3 years of our brand, everything was purely organic content. And we got to about 30 to 35K of consistent months just doing purely organic content. And so it is absolutely possible. It wasn't until we knew that we had the right product and that we knew how to do our content that we felt like we were ready for ads. And so I would say to you, start off doing the more organic things, working with influencers, creating content, doing your emails. And once you've really established that, this is a great product market fit, I've got great product, I understand content, then you can start to put money behind the content that is doing well. Ads can get very expensive, especially when you don't know what you're doing. So I would say to you, build your brand through organic content. And once you are confident, you're getting the sales and you're having those regular 10, 20K months, then start to put money behind your ads. And that is really how you are going to build your brand in 2026. This is what's really going to grow it and help you to attract an audience as well as get those sales in. So if you are super serious about starting your brand in 2026, or your brand is currently struggling, you're not getting those 10, 20, 30K consistent months, then I would urge you to come to our live masterclass on the 25th of January, where myself and my co-founder Antonia will be taking you through all the marketing that you need to be doing this 2026 with examples, as well as really giving you guys that time to ask questions and get any advice you may need for your brand or the brand that you want to start. All the information is in the description. I'm so excited, guys, and I really hope that you have learned from this video. I'll see you in the next one.